Hey friends, it's Beth here, Aging Care Solutions, offering professional guidance and personal caregiving experience and just life experience for a whole host of aging topics. I started this channel just sort of as a way to help people with all the knowledge that I have because I've worked in the industry for 20 years. But along the way, I'm starting to see and learn about all these different things that I guess I knew, but I didn't know how impactful it could be. Um, and one of those things is really about the mindset that we have, right? And one of the things that I started thinking about, because I saw this topic and I put it up on my board, my inspiration board that I look at. And it's really about, if you've heard this before, it's making the rest of your life the best of your life. And I started hearing this, not only, I started hearing about this and thinking, you know, why not? Why does aging have to be looked at as like the end of our, best years? Well, it's not. I almost think like they're going to be the best of those years because I don't know about you, but early in my life, I did a lot of worrying about stuff. I mean, I still do. Of course, I worry about my children. Most of us and many of us would worry about any health conditions, but I spent a great deal of my early years having terrible anxiety, worry. When different things happen to you going through your life, it can't help but really make a huge impact on you. Not only can you live with like PTSD or different conditions, you have absolutely no idea that you even have them because you just are taught to, buckle down or, you know, uh, just ignore it or I don't know. I mean, things were very different. I think growing up, it was always about push your feelings down and just muscle through it. It wasn't like I was ignored as a child, but I started to see over the years that you know, nobody really told them that their emotions were okay and that talking things out or discussing it was important. It was more like just buck up and shut up and keep moving. And I wouldn't say that it was my parents, but it was because they were awesome. But I would say that as I got older, nobody really cared. Like nobody would really understand. Okay, you lost a family member, and then few short years later, you lost someone else. And I think I really resorted to internalizing everything and not really realizing it, and just kind of going along until finally I was caring for so many other people in my life. I stopped caring for myself. So what I've started doing is on my course of healing is finding this powerful mindset and realizing that a lot of these choices have to be intentional, right? And creating purpose, focusing on my health, connecting with the right people, and being happy and trying to find joy later in my life has really become something that I feel kind of dedicated to. I feel like I'm dedicating the next 25 years or 30 years or however much time I have to myself. Of course, my children are going to be in there. My other family members, my friends are all sprinkled in there too. But I think it's important that we focus and we allow for some happiness to be part of who we are and who we want to become. And part of that is defining or redefining my purpose and your purpose. What makes us feel happy? How do I want to contribute? Part of what I started this channel for too was thinking, I'm not going bedside anymore. I'm not going into facilities anymore. I'm not seeing and talking to families every week. So I thought maybe this medium is going to be a way to really start to mentor and be kind of like an aging care coach to people who really don't have any of the kind of support that I didn't have. I mean, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a roadmap on how to have children later in life. I didn't know that just a couple short years after that, my mother would be diagnosed with dementia, and that not only would I be caring for little children, I'd be caring for a parent who really needed assistance. So all of this is kind of pushing me towards finding a purpose, whether it's small or big or medium, it doesn't really matter. But helping myself and helping others is kind of where I feel I'm being pushed, and trying to find creative pursuits. There's a lot of different things that I want to do. And I think once the kids are off to school and I'm settled in my new place, I really do feel like I want to start some things that I've sort of put on the back burner. I've wanted to take some classes. I've wanted to do more volunteering. I wanted to learn pickleball. You might have heard me say that, but I feel like I do want to learn something like that. And I want to continue with my yoga and pursuits at the gym, just, continuing with my health because, it's before I know it, 10 more years have gone by, 20 more years will have gone by. And I just want to use everything that I can, especially in my spiritual and growth aspect of that in my life. It's not the end of the road. It's just really the beginning of a new, exciting highway that's going to be ahead. So, and I hope you feel that way too, because it really can be, especially if we're lonely. And I think it takes a bit of an effort for us to get out and start prioritizing some of these things. One of the things that you'll hear me say is prioritizing our health. And I'm on that journey with you too, because, over the years, a lot of stress has impacted my life to the point where it has disrupted my sleep. It has impacted my weight. It has impacted my skin. There's a lot of different things that all of a sudden you realize, could all this be that I'm, mixed with our depletion of our hormones and everything else like that? Could most of this be really due to worry and stress? And I'm here to say, yes, it can. Absolutely, it can, because I have lived it. So prioritizing my health, and as you know, I walk every day. I did my walk today, and the fun thing is I see the same people. Today I saw a whole new couple, and they have a new baby, and so we started talking about sleep and the lack of it. And she's like, I just feel like even if I get 4 hours, I feel better. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I remember those days. It's not easy. But doing anything, even if you feel like you've sat all day or you haven't moved much, even just stretching can help. Walking. I remember when my grandmother lived in her apartment building, and also even clients of mine that I would go visit in some of these larger senior communities, a lot of times their only exercise was walking to the mailbox. So I'm going to encourage you to walk that building, even if you go up on a different floor, and you're seeing different people's window boxes or different wreaths on their door or different little sayings or whatever. Just change up that pace. If you can get outside, all the better, because just that fresh air, it just does something. It really boosts our mood. And you might even find that you could find a couple people that want to do it with you, So invest in a great pair of sneakers. I go through sneakers quickly, but it's because I do so much walking. But, if you have really good footwear, it's going to be way easier to be out, especially if you're going from like a sidewalk to a walking path that has, ours is paved, which is really great. But even if you're doing the sidewalks, just be mindful of where you're walking and focus on really good food. I mean, we all can get into the rut of having stuff pre-prepared. It's so much easier. But honestly, there's so many grocery stores that have prepared meals where they've got, your protein and your veggies already in there, and staying hydrated, and just learning new skills. Keep up with your puzzles. Keep up with your, if you're doing like the crossword puzzle, or if you're taking a class. And if there's no classes in your building, think about asking if you can use the main living area, or sometimes they have a conference area, and move some of the furniture out of the way and start your dance class or your seated yoga. A lot of times there's a big screen TV in the lobby area, even in these independent buildings. And if you started a Tuesday afternoon stretching class, you're going to get a bunch of people that'll show up, because everybody knows that we need to keep moving, and keeping our legs strengthened is really the most important. And sleeping well, managing our stress, kind of for me, being outside in nature, it does something. It helps my mental health I can't even tell you. Many times during COVID, I was the only person out. If I saw anybody, they were walking through the Greenway Trail here with their mask on. I mean, the only thing I could do was go out and just take my mask off and breathe and know that those trees were oxygenating me. And I would do my prayers and my meditation outside. Everybody knows I'm a little kooky with all of this, but if I'm sitting in the grass without my sneakers on, it's so awesome to ground yourself and really just feel really connected. And it brings me such a sense of peace. And I know it will for you too. Even if you sit outside, bring your chair out, or if you've got a sitting space outside of your apartment or your home, Or if you've got a back deck, fill the bird feeder and watch these beautiful birds come into your house and into visit your little bird feeder every day. Oh, I love it. I do. I watch my birds too. Invest in relationships. A lot of times as we get older, our friend groups, our social circle really shrinks. And it has for me, especially when the kids got in high school, because all of the really active engagement of kids' birthday parties, events that were being hosted when the kids were younger, they all sort of stopped after middle school. And then kids started going to different high schools. So and of course, I went through a divorce. So my friend group, the social circle that I connected all of us together. I'm sorry, I can hear my daughter screaming upstairs. She's excited about something, but it's annoying because I can hear it. So I'm going to text her if she gets it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Anyway, I do value those relationships, and every time I reach out to a friend, they're like, "I miss you," but we don't make time for each other. Nobody calls and says, "Do you want to meet for coffee or catch up for dinner?" Actually, I'm meeting somebody today at 1, a friend I haven't seen in a long time. So I really am excited to see her because we're both sort of semi-retiring and moving. She's going to move to the Carolinas. So anyway, it's great to reconnect with people, but I really feel like I want to add more people to my friend group. And by doing that, I mean, finding these classes, whether it's at a gym or if you're doing yoga or if you're volunteering, that's where you're going to start to connect with people. And for me, I really don't have a problem like introducing myself. And I know when I relocate, I'm going to create a new business card because even though I'm a content creator, and sort of an entrepreneur, I always feel like it doesn't hurt to have your information, your socials, for me, it would really be my cell phone, an email address, and, things that I'm into. So I could put down, workouts, adult dinners. I had a business card when I was first a stay-at-home mom so that I could socialize with people. And it really opened up a whole new world for me of meeting all my neighbors, connecting with people. And I know that it's going to do that as I start to age and move into a different way of life, a different place of living, and being open to creating and trying new things. Although I say I want to play pickleball, I've been talking about it. It's like, why haven't I done it already? Well, I feel like I'm wrapping things up here where I live now. And to me, I feel like I'm going to wait till I'm settled and I can actually put the time into it that I want to. So the other thing for me, something that I've always done is I set goals. A lot of them were really business related, but I always do every year. Don't we all set a goal? This is the year I'm going to lose that 20 pounds. How many times have I done that? So I feel like now that the kids won't be here, I'm wondering if maybe it will happen. I'm not going to have like the chips, and I'm not going to have the ice cream that everybody wants, and all these other things. So some of these goals they change over time, right? But for me now, my new goals are going to be able to travel more because I'm going to have more freedom to just be able to find out who can go with me and where can we go. I really want to go to England and see a really good friend of mine that I went to college with. And while I'm there, I want to take the Euro train and go through Paris, France, visit there for a few days or a week or whatever I can, and then continue on to Italy. So I've had that dream, like we all do, that bucket list. The other thing is I want to go through all 9 provinces of Canada. I grew up an hour from the Canadian border and spent a lot of time on the Ontario side of Canada. I grew up in upstate New York, and so my brothers both played hockey, and not only were we watching hockey during the week, they traveled, so they were on 2 teams, their high school teams and their travel teams. So we did a lot of traveling. I also want to take up other hobbies. I have 2 really great book ideas. I have a book series in my head that I would love to just launch it. I started thinking about it years ago, and I still haven't lost my thoughts about it and my excitement about it. So I kind of feel like maybe I'm supposed to be doing it. So I'm going to see. I'm going to start maybe putting into practice some of these goals that I have and really just start thinking about how much more fun I can have as I am approaching this new phase of life, this retirement. And of course, part of that health and balance is going to be my financial health, right? I have a financial advisor that I work with. And one of the things that I'm doing now is I'm downsizing. I'm really getting out of a very costly, large home, what I consider a large home, a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home. And I really think that with the kids being out and about and doing, being in college, that I'm really going to be able to reduce my expenses, which is going to allow me to travel more. So I'm really excited about it. I don't want to have any unnecessary worries that I have had for many, many years. And this is going to be one of them that's going to lift that sense of worry and concern. And the other things that we look at is that I would consider, and that you should too, is like forgetting these past regrets. Like, do I regret certain things in my life? I guess so, but not really. I feel like they're all lessons, right? And one of the biggest lessons that I've had to practice, not only for other people, but forgiveness for myself and for others. And in regard to myself, I would say that I had to forgive myself for making some bad choices when it came to taking jobs for money only. That was one of them that I learned, knowing that I thrive when I work for small family-run businesses where they value the input of their employees. When you start getting into these corporations where all they do is care about the amount of revenue that you're going to generate, they don't really care about the value that you bring with the relationships and the care that you show towards your clients. So I did learn a lot of lessons in corporate America, and I look at them as like, okay, they made me the person that I am today. And one of the things that I want to do too is continue to have this gratitude, this daily gratitude of knowing that I'm still working, I'm still trying to help others, only in a different platform, in a different way than I ever imagined I would be. So embracing technology for me has really been something that I've wanted to do. And we all have a cell phone. I've sort of mastered the cell phone, but there's so much more with just a simple laptop and a camera that I can do, and I can reach a lot more people. So anyway, I'm sort of excited about it. I feel like I want to stay curious. I want to be able to continue to offer something in the way of support for people, especially aging seniors. And it's weird because I'm in that space myself now, even though I feel a lot younger than I am, but I know that the reality is, I'm approaching my retirement years. And for me, I want to be able to celebrate all of that I've done, the wisdom that I've acquired over these years, and you should too. I mean, I never celebrated any over the years. Of course, we celebrated my birthdays and things like that, but I've never really celebrated any of the wins that I've accomplished over the years. And I say this, like the different things that I survived in my life. And I really feel like sharing some of these with people are going to let all of us know that, we can come through stronger. We can become the best version of ourselves and look back knowing that we have forgiven, knowing that we have taken the higher road many times because we needed our own true happiness. And to stay in that space of anger or resentment or blame, it just hasn't served me, and it's helped me heal. So I hope it does for you too. My final thoughts are that we are never too old to set more goals. We are never too old to dream a new dream. And that is by C.S. Lewis. So I encourage you to remember the things that made you happiest, whether it was later in life or earlier in your life, and know that you can still incorporate them into who you are today. And encourage others to do so too, because I think we all need a little encouragement. I've always been, you guys could have told me that my hair looked a little funky. I think a lot of times we don't have a lot of positive encouragement as we get older because who's around to encourage us? So we really need to dig deep and do it for ourselves. But I'm here to encourage you. So you're welcome to leave me any comments. If you like this video and this content, feel free to like and subscribe. It's going to help me. It's going to help you. And it's going to help me bring more content for ways to encourage ourselves and each other. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you at the next one. Take care.